control adventures us to the haunted Castle Warden in St. Augustine, Florida. Built in 1887 by millionaire William Warden, it was one of the last purchases by famed cartoonist and entertainment mogul Robert L. Ripley prior to his death in 1949. Just who is Ripley? Well, it could be said he is the grandfather of social media and reality TV. Ripley launched into stardom in 1918 with his popular Believe It or Not cartoons of the strange, the bizarre, and the unexpected. As his popularity exploded, he encouraged fans to submit their own stories of the weird, effectively pioneering the concept of crowdsourcing. The talented Mr. Ripley followed up with a live show in 1949, which served as inspiration for 1982's iconic Ripley's Believe It or Not series, hosted by the legendary Jack Palance. Following in Jack's footsteps nearly 10 years later, actor Dean Cain hosted the show when the show returned to television in 2000. Today, Mr. Ripley's empire includes a collection of auditoriums and aquariums worldwide. And true to tradition, Ripley's Bion remains the longest continuously running cartoon in America. So what was once Castle Warden is widely recognized as Ripley's first auditorium. Ripley's Entertainment granted Fireball Run unrestricted access to their vault of unique treasures, and we selected the very best for what is Fireball Run's rarest collection of moments at one location. Believe it or not.
From what we can gather, we're about to go hold a baseball that was signed by at least 6 pitchers that have thrown no-hitters.
I cannot believe that we are actually getting to walk into Ripley's and touch some of these artifacts. It's almost like kind of walking on that holy sacred ground.
11:58 arrival. We're gonna be early. Oh my God, for the first time in a week, we're gonna be early.
Oh my God. I can't believe it.
I can't either.
Oh my gosh, we're here early. Gotta get them out. Come on, girls, let's go.
St. Augustine, Florida, Ripley's Believe It or Not.
So, going to check us in now at Ripley's Believe It or Not. It's gonna be a cool adventure. I like this.
As you've seen, we do things that are epic. We do things that are legendary, and we do things that are flat out unbelievable. So it makes sense that we're at Ripley's Believe It or Not in St. Augustine, Florida. They've shut down the whole place exclusively for fireballers for these once-in-a-lifetime opportunities.
I'm Edward Meyer, Vice President of Exhibits and Archives for Ripley Entertainment, makers of Ripley's Believe It or Not. Upon arrival, you'll be amongst the first persons outside of my staff to absolutely touch some of the most unique artifacts in our collection. Who could have known a little doodling to fill newspaper space would evolve into an entertainment empire? And no, I'm not talking about Walt Disney. I'm talking about the one-time most popular man in the world, Robert L. Ripley. Lucky you, for the first time ever, I'm allowing someone, aside from myself of course, to physically hold the cartoon that started it all. Believe it or not, the entire Ripley empire is based on this cartoon. Taken out of the frame for the first time in over 60 years, you are going to get to touch the very first Believe It or Not cartoon.
Right behind me is the cartoon that put Mr. Ripley on the map. This is the publication that launched this entire empire, and now after 60 years, it's come out of its case and is being held by the fireballers.
Its original name was Champs and Chumps until it was changed to some later unknown date to Believe It or Not. And that small descriptive text you see on the bottom was added in 1948 for the 30th anniversary.
For the first 10 years of Ripley's career, he drew sports cartoons. He had been very popular, but until this cartoon, the very first one titled Believe It or Not, he was just a New York guy. From here, he becomes a worldwide figure, one of the most popular men in America, and ultimately, the very first cartoon millionaire.
This has been in the frame for over 60 years. It's the first time in 60 years that we've taken it out of the frame.
Wow.
It's usually hanging in our corporate offices.
Yeah, that was a comic that started Ripley's Believe It or Not. She said it was originally titled Champs and Chumps, and they changed it sometime to Believe It or Not.
First time it's been out of its case in 60 years, so it's really cool.
Legend has it this award got its name from Betty Davis's first husband. Or was it someone's uncle named Oscar? In either case, your team will be of the very few to accept this historic Hollywood award. However, when you arrive at our St. Augustine Auditorium, just do me one favor. Skip the speech.
The 15th anniversary edition of the miniature Oscar from the film It Happened One Night.
And it won 5 Oscars for that film. And so this is the mini one at the Ripley's Believe It or Not, and they took it out of the Orlando vault and brought it up here. So we're really excited. Being in the film and television industry myself, it's a pretty big honor for me to be able to do this.
This Oscar, only about half the size of today's Oscars, was presented to the crew and the actors, actresses for It Happened One Night, the first film to win 5 Oscars.
We're looking for John Wilkes Booth gun that he dropped on the when he jumped on the stage that fell out of his pocket.
Who shot Liberty Valance? I don't know, but we all know who shot one of America's most cherished presidents. Since that time, even after 100 years, the debate raged on just about which gun was the gun. And while this gun isn't the gun, its place in history is no less significant. Today's single barrel moment has you placing your hands on one of the most historic weapons in presidential history.
These guys are holding John Wilkes Booth's Derringer, the one that fell out of his pocket after he assassinated Abraham Lincoln.
I'm kidding. That is amazing.
We're holding the extra gun, or the second gun, that John Wilkes Booth had on him when he assassinated Lincoln.
Probably the historically most important item in our entire Ripley's Believe It or Not collection. This is the John Wilkes Booth Assassination Derringer, and you are going to get to hold it. When John Wilkes Booth jumped over the balcony of the Ford's Theater and landed on the stage, this gun fell from his chest pocket. But it was a duplicate. He had 2 guns in case one backfired. But it was not till 1971, over 100 years later, before science and forensics could say which was the actual assassination weapon.
It's a significant piece of history right there. Just kind of amazing.
I had the experience of holding something I never heard about. It's called a Derringer, and it was just a cool experience to see that something so small could kill someone. I didn't know that, so that was interesting.
I'm looking for a shrunken head, and my friend Stanny, who's on our team, she is super excited because she came here as a teenager and she hasn't been here since, and it's just bringing back a lot of good memories for her. So today's a really positive day for our team. We've had like some ups and downs, and this is definitely an up day.
From Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to Harry Potter to Pirates of the Caribbean, Americans can't get enough Sansa. I believe it was a famous queen that said, "Off with their heads." I wonder where that came from. Fireballers, today your mission has you heading straight to the Ripley's Auditorium in St. Augustine. Here, you will be the first persons outside myself to personally get a head. All shrunken heads come from Ecuador, South America, but this shrunken head is that of a Chinese man, dating over 500 years old. The big mystery, what's a Chinese doing in South America in the 1500s?
I found the shrunken head.
Oh, I gotta hold the shrunken head too.
Okay, you can hold it.
You hold it
You
first.
can hold it.
You can hold it first.
All right, I'm going to hold the base. You're going to pick them up by the skull and just be very careful. Now, the tribe that made these, what they would do, they would peel back the skin, take the skull out and all the brains and all that stuff. They would put in hot sand and stones inside, boil it in a mixture of herbs to get the head shrunken. And then they would actually cure it over a fire to get the leathery texture. And they wore it as necklaces to show their bravery.
That's so weird that this was actually a human being.
I named him Herbert.
How do you know he's Chinese?
Just by his features.
And that's been confirmed because I know the Asians have a lot in common with Native Americans. That's been confirmed that that's not just maybe an anomaly or something.
Right. You don't mind touching dead people?
I guess not.
It's the same way.
It's every pitcher's dream to throw a perfect game. It's every fan's dream to collect the ball of a perfect game. And it's my dream you'll arrive safe at our St. Augustine Auditorium. Because here, a few select fireball run teams will catch one of the most coveted balls in American baseball history. Don Larson's Perfect Pitch Baseball. This baseball is autographed and dated by 11 pitchers that threw perfect games. On the sweet spot, Don Larson's 1956 perfect game, the only perfect game ever thrown in a World Series.
There's only been 23 perfect games in the history of baseball, from 1880 till now.
I am actually holding here at Ripley's Believe It or Not one of the balls signed with 11 people that pitched perfect games, and Yogi Berra was the catcher for this game during the World Series.
World Series 1956, Yankees against the Dodgers.
Perfect game, 27 strikeouts?
In a row, 27 strikeouts. There's no
Right,
no
there's
walks,
no walks,
nothing.
no nothing,
Yeah.
no hit.
Yep.
Perfect games, which is not an easy feat if you know anything about baseball. So, absolutely an amazing moment.
Every author in the world wants to be listed as a bestseller. However, this book set the bar higher than anyone on earth. By far outselling more copies than J.R.R. Tolkien, C.S. Lewis, and Charles Dickens combined, this book quite literally went to the stratosphere. Inside the Egg, 32 pages on microfilm of the King James Bible, the only Bible to fly to the moon on Apollo 14. Congratulations, your team and astronaut Edgar Mitchell now have something in common, holding a copy of history that really went to the moon.
This is a copy of the Bible that actually reached the heavens. The King James Version was printed on microfilm and accompanied astronauts on their Apollo 14 mission.
This is the Bible.
Yep, the only Bible to have ever been on the moon.
Isn't that something?
The top of it does lift up, so you can see the Bible inside. There you go. Perfect.
That's pretty cool.
What do you think
Not only the fact that it's been to the moon, but that it's a Fabergé egg.
To me, this is absolutely amazing, a once-in-a-lifetime experience, because this is my favorite book, the Holy Book.
All right, what we're doing, we've already completed our mission, but now we're going to ask some of the workers here if they can help us out with some of the bonuses.
Here we go. Higher, man, higher. Come on. Kill yourself.
No, behind your head.
I can't do it. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Yeah. I'm cramping.
Wait a minute, I gotta get it done.
2, 3.
So we just finished out everything we needed to do at Ripley, so we're gonna go down, grab a quick lunch, and get our next mission.
So what do you guys do for attention? All right, here we go. You see, the nail is real, it's the head that's fake. You're up close, you probably caught it, didn't you? Yeah. Now you see, when you take one sword and you put it inside the body, it is dangerous enough. Woo! And the crowd goes wild! Thank you guys so much for making Ripley's part of your destination. It's unbelievable what you guys are out here doing.
We got our mission.
Let's go get some points.
Okay, stop.
Let's go, run! Point.
Thanks for the ride.
Missions! We're on a mission, let's go!
Let's go, girls. Chop, chop, chop. Gotta get some points.
Cheetahs, leopards, rhinos, oh my. This first Seminole County mission is a wild one.
This local business creates sugar cane infused sweets with an assortment of different and unique flavors ranging from blackberry to root beer.
Find a cotton candy factory, Nathan and Jen.
It looks like Fireball Run's rare, epic, and historic has met the strange, the bizarre, and the unexpected. These are the famous words that Robert L. Ripley challenged us to. Believe it or not.